here with our main card for Hard Knocks 52. Nice crisp exchanges there.
Obviously, at this point, they're more feeling each other out. It's, oh, I speak too soon.
Well, when I talked to Stephen Thomas about that. He said because Justin's making his amateur debut, there's no way to know what kind of fighter he is. And a nice takedown there from Thomas said he expected the first round to be a feeling out process to understand who his opponent is and what he was bringing to the cage.
Exactly, and we've talked about it. Because they are so raw, a lot of, 6 months in the gym could be a whole new awakening. That's what it was for me once after I had my first Hard Knocks fight. I was like, hey, wrestling's a good idea, and I fell in love with it.
So now in a full mount position. Again, no strikes to the head of a downed opponent here under the amateur rules in Calgary. Advanced amateurs, which both of these guys will likely be later in their career, are allowed those strikes, and we will see those later tonight. But in the meantime, it's a push and an attempt to get out from Justin Gray. Nice work from the top here, trying to isolate an arm and pull that arm out.
Justin Gray needs to stack his opponent. The cage can be an actual tool to use to not let Stephen Thomas get the arm. I think he's giving way too much of his arm away and not stacking enough.
Right now, that arm bar is looking ever more dangerous, now defending it by grabbing his wrist.
And that should be the first step with his own weight. Here you can see him start doing it, but again, he's leaving it and trying to hit, when in reality, you need to remove the threat of the arm bar first and then go for position, submission, etc.
Well, and that could be, as we talked about, the inexperience as guys learn the position. It's something you train in the gym, but the guy in the gym isn't trying to tear your arm off. He's just trying to show you where the mistake is. Whereas in here, I'm sure Stephen Thomas would happily leave with Justin Gray's shoulder.
No, 110%. A lot of it could be not only the inexperience in the cage, but also the inexperience to having so many eyeballs watching you. Under those bright lights, I know I've been there. I've been very successful handling that, but again, being so fresh with these two, it could be a factor.
So again, Justin Gray's been on top for the majority of this time, but at the same time, he's been defending, so he's got kind of the better position from an outsider's view. But when you look at it from a jiu-jitsu perspective, that arm is straightening out, and with just 10 seconds left, we'll see whether or not Stephen Thomas can finish this submission off.
So not much really happened in this round, it seems, but again, both will be able to go back in their corner and try. It's going to be interesting to see what both of them bring to round two. Obviously, not much came. Oh.
Yeah, it was just some big punches landing. Justin Gray's covering up. He's trying to strike back.
He's still feeling
so from a pretty weak position there.
Yep, he's on defensive mode, but switching still to offense. I think he's cleared the cobwebs, and he wants his now.
Well, it's one of those things too. When you're in this situation, it's taking those punches and knowing you can survive them means something. Oh, and the eye of Justin Gray is not pretty.
No, it's already swollen, a little cut. If the ref actually sees that, that might be an issue later down in the rounds.
Yeah, the cut appears to be under the eye, but it is swelling pretty badly. And that's swelling on the side of his face there. That's not good for young Justin Gray.
No, and both of them, again, they're landing shots, but you can see they're a little wild. They're getting that experience of what it is to actually fight on game day when all and everything matters.
And now you can see Andy Social switching over to the other side. He's getting a real good look at that eye of Justin Gray. Gray circling away from him. I heard an interesting quote from Forrest Griffin once. He said, when they call the doctor in to check for you, walk to some other commission official, because that's going to buy you at least 30 to 45 more seconds of confusion before the doctor will see you, which means that gives you 30, 45 more seconds to recover before the doctor has to decide whether or not to call the fight.
Seems legit.
Justin Gray now on top of Stephen Thomas, where he was for a lot of the first round, but it was in a much more dangerous position than he's in now, although now a triangle choke being thrown on. by Stephen Thomas, and he's got that one in. He's got to pull the head down here to get the pressure on, locking that knee up so that Gray can't get away or stack him up.
Justin needs to really work on his head position. If your posture is broken, so is your strength. I've said it before, shapes are very powerful, and a triangle, for obvious reasons, is a very powerful shape.
Now, curiosity here in the triangle, you saw Stephen Thomas at first grab under the knee and pull it in close, and he's doing it again here. What's the advantage there? What does that do for you in the triangle?
It's just more control. You're holding both ends of your opponent. It just allows you to eventually also pull it, like he's trying to sweep over. You see he's trying to land as well. It basically spreads your opponent open and allows you to jump on top.
So again,
like
10 seconds to go now, trying that, sink that triangle in, doing everything he can to survive as Justin Gray, and he will survive to a third round, as always, here in the Hard Knocks cage. And another big right hand landing on the eye. Oh, and a flying knee, and we know that, oh, and the referee saying it hit the arm initially. Stephen Thomas maybe thinking that one got through to the head. Again, not allowed to strike the head with a knee in amateur rules here. And again, something you train every day, something if you see the opportunity, you're gonna take it, having to train yourself. Oh, and what a punch here!
Anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Justin Gray wakes up the building, but he's in the wrong spot here, Elias. He can't finish him with a strike to the head. And now he's standing up.
He did the smart thing. He allowed the opponent to get up, especially in amateur MMA and the novice amateur MMA. You can't strike, like you said.
So
going for it again.
Down and a spinning back fist. Justin Gray trying to finish here, smelling blood, is coming forward on Stephen Thomas, who's throwing right back.
He's got 2 minutes to get the finish. Obviously, throwing spinny stuff, although unorthodox and not technical, it does land on the mark. And if you drop your opponent, that's a solid round.
I believe that's hashtag spinning stuff.
Yes, but it would be a swear word is what I'm trying to say.
Well, an expletive.
There you go, there. Again, getting hit in the head myself for a living.
So now pulling guard and looking for a sub, not wanting any more of Justin Gray on the feet. Stephen Thomas right back into that triangle position.
It's not going to be clean. It's not going to be pretty, rather, but Justin Gray really needs to shake him off and just get up. He's having so much success standing up. He might as well do it for the last minute of the fight.
Yeah, needs to get out of this position and finish him off. Again, a knockdown, and the amateur rules here coming into play significantly, because typically in that situation, you swarm an opponent, there's ground and pound, and you maybe finish him. That not being allowed into these amateur rules really inhibited Justin Gray's opportunity to finish.
110%. And again, his noviceness, just as an athlete, an MMA athlete, jumping right into it. When you taste blood, then the natural thing is to swarm. You're a shark. And when you taste blood, you go for it.
Justin Gray, however, right now on top of the triangle defense, just holding him at this point as Stephen Thomas. There's not even really necessarily a threat of a submission here with the way that is. I mean, you're not going to get a triangle with it wrapped around your ankle. But Justin Gray still unable to pop free, which is what he needs to do with just 10 seconds to go. Tough to secure a knockout here, and it looks like this one's going to go to a decision.
And a decision that's most likely in Stephen Thomas's benefit.
Yeah, despite what would definitely be a third-round win for Justin Gray, it's certainly not a 10-8 round, so we're looking for a decision victory here for Stephen Thomas, but we'll see what the judges have to say in just a moment.